The Molecular and Structural Bases of Living Organisms Institute is the most recent multi-body subject-specific institute, or ITMO. It was set up because we identified gaps in the coverage that the other ITMOs could provide in the various communities. There are communities of biologists, chemists and physicists working on the fine components of living organisms which are found in the cells and which structure the cells and enable organisms to develop. These are components we're all familiar with: proteins, peptides, RNAs, DNA, and also other small components, metabolites or secondary metabolites, which are capable of interfering with living organisms and modifying the biological sense of the main biological components we're all familiar with. In the communities working in this field, which comprise researchers in universities, in large research organizations, in all the different organizations of whatever kind, we've identified experts who could help us define and pursue the challenges associated with this field. We've identified 4 major challenges concerning the chemistry of and for living organisms, biophysical aspects of cell functions, the emerging field of synthetic biology, and finally in approaches to monitoring and modeling of living matter, which concern these macro or these small biological molecules. It was very important for us to bring these experts together and get them to discuss all these topics and identify the most relevant questions that need to be addressed. And one of the major developments in the field is the development of highly sophisticated, cutting-edge technologies involving different communities that must learn to cooperate to define the right questions and the right technologies to develop together. Take the case of synthetic biology. This is a new, emerging field for which the communities are not well identified. It needs to be coordinated so they can work together and present more coherent, more constructive projects. Jean Weissenbach, a CNRS Gold Medal winner, is orchestrating this topic, and it's actually a major challenge for France, which has rather lagged behind in this field. Other communities, like structural biologists, have been well established for years, but they need to adapt to the real challenges of tomorrow so as to be coherent and proactive in developing and implementing what are expensive and complex technologies that we will only be able to achieve in very special sites. This assumes that the communities are in a position to understand which are the best sites to develop these technologies, and that's why we organized a meeting in Lyon in January 2009 to air these questions. It's also why we're going to continue discussing this issue in March 2010 at La Grande Motte to look at other closely related questions, this time concerning biophysical problems and particularly the problem of single molecules.